Schumer's decision hit Washington like a lightning bolt, electrifying the political landscape and setting the Democratic Party ablaze. News spread quickly. Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader, had decided to vote in favor of the continuing resolution. Within hours, progressives erupted in outrage, denouncing the move as reckless and dangerous. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez took center stage on primetime television, passionately condemning the decision, warning that it gave power to Trump and Elon Musk. Beside her, Bernie Sanders added his voice, decrying billionaire influence over government programs. The party was in turmoil, and Schumer's aides scrambled to control the damage. A leaked note from his office claimed that if the government shut down, Trump and Musk would decide what remained open. But the excuse fell flat, drowned out by the roar of betrayal. Behind closed doors, panic set in. Old allies distanced themselves, refusing to answer calls or make public statements in his defense. Whispers from past meetings resurfaced, stories of how Schumer had sidelined progressive voices, particularly AOC. Now, those old wounds were reopened, fueling a mutiny. Meanwhile, Trump remained silent, watching as chaos unfolded. Kellyanne Conway smirked during a late-night panel, implying that the Democrats had handed Trump control on a silver platter. Schumer's allies dwindled as the hours passed, their silence a deafening verdict. Across town, AOC and Bernie huddled with their staff, strategizing their next move. Something was brewing, something bigger than mere outrage. In his office, Schumer sat alone, staring at a cryptic text on his phone, "They're coming for you next." His hand trembled. Was it a warning from Trump's camp? A taunt from his own party? Or a final plea from a fading ally? Whatever it was, he knew his time was running out. This wasn't just a political misstep, it was the spark that could bring the Democratic Party crashing down. By morning, the fracture was undeniable. Progressives weren't just expressing outrage, they were mobilizing for a coup. AOC sharpened her rhetoric, declaring that the party could not survive under leaders who bowed to billionaires. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and other progressive heavyweights echoed her sentiments. Schumer was no longer seen as a leader, he was a relic of a party that no longer existed. Polls showed his approval plummeting among Democratic voters, while social media exploded with calls for his resignation. Then, the leaks began. Screenshots of private messages, internal memos revealing how Schumer had deliberately sidelined progressives in key negotiations, all surfaced at once. It wasn't just about this one vote anymore, it was a pattern of betrayal. Schumer's office attempted to push back, releasing statements about party unity and strategic compromises. But it was too late. The progressives had seized control of the narrative. And yet, through it all, Trump remained eerily silent. He wasn't celebrating publicly. He wasn't tweeting jabs at Schumer. Instead, his administration moved swiftly, signing quiet executive orders that consolidated power while Democrats were distracted with infighting. Federal funding was being reallocated, policies were shifting, and the left hadn't even noticed. Then came another text to Schumer, "Tomorrow, Bernie makes his move." The warning arrived too late. By the time Schumer saw it, the gears were already in motion. Bernie had waited long enough. The next morning's headlines confirmed it. Progressive leaders were calling for a change in leadership. The letter, signed by more than a dozen lawmakers, didn't name Schumer directly, but its message was clear: his time was up. As Schumer scrambled to respond, another wave of leaks surfaced, exposing his recent meetings with corporate donors. The worst revelation: an old email where he had dismissed concerns about Musk's growing influence over federal contracts. His downfall was no longer speculation, it was reality. Hours later, another message arrived: "Chuck, it's time." It was from a senator he once considered a friend. Schumer sat alone, realizing that by tomorrow, he would no longer be the leader of the Senate Democrats. The only choice left was whether he would step down willingly or be forced out. Reporters swarmed outside his office. Staffers who had once been loyal packed their desks, unwilling to be the last to abandon ship.